Alright, let's discuss the nitty-gritty of what was and now is with White Dwarf. So, White Dwarf, it was a magazine before, it's been out for years, that really let you feel like, it was a community magazine. It had articles and ideas in it, and it would give a nice spread to the different armies. It wasn't as concerned about, oh my god, quick, make money. It was about the hobby. And as time went on, it felt like they were just shoving... There was a time when it felt like they were shoving the Chaos army book. Remember the one that had all three in it? All three factions that then got split up down our throats all the time. And obviously constantly shoving Space Marines down our throat. Maybe not giving as much sort of focus in the pages to some of the other armies, because maybe they aren't, bought as readily. But, it's about hobby interest, isn't it? And it should be technically their interest too, really, in the hobby. And obviously, time went by, and then they did the big White Dwarf relaunch. Because before that first relaunch, when was that? Just over a couple of years ago now? It started to feel like the magazines were just turning into some sort of big catalogue of their monthly releases and what have you. And then, the new relaunch came, and it was all exciting, and it was, nice... glossy kind of printing covers, and new exciting size to it, and loads of content. And the first issue was really good, and I had really high hopes for it. And then as the issues wore on, and I'd had a subscription out for that even, it felt to me like they started to fall back into their old patterns. That Games Workshops then started to release pretty much just magazines that were focusing on their new releases and just trying to sell them to you. So it was just an extension of what you get when you come through the door of a Games Workshop brick and mortar store, but in the magazine form instead. Yeah. So you'd be paying all that money for a overblown catalogue and maybe a couple of thoughtful articles and a bit of painting guide stuff. So then when I heard that they were re-releasing White Dwarf in a new format, I was curious, so I picked up issues 1 of both of them. So here's what we're dealing with now with the new White Dwarf from issue 1. And you can see this is White Dwarf issue 1. And above here is the other version of White Dwarf called Visions. So we'll get to that in a sec. So this new format is a weekly. You can see it's quite thin. And what have we got in it? Well, it's got a combination of things. It's kind of a bit more like old-time White Dwarf combined with modern White Dwarf of trying to just sell you stuff. So we get the new release stuff. Luckily, it's about the dwarves, and the dwarves are gorgeous minis actually, and the fact that they've got like hammerers and stuff now in plastic's really exciting. But that's another matter. So this is all about the dwarves, latest books. So it feels like a White Dwarf. What's going on in computer games? We have a Jervis article there that you could check out. Thing about Tyrannid play, loads of Tyrannid information there. Painting the dwarves. So again, little hobby section, painting section, and shows you the rules for the dwarf guy there, and it's pretty much in and out again. Pretty much fast reading, and it's got this more harder cover, so obviously it retains its integrity a little bit better. So what do I think of that? Good little magazine, good way to read it, but let's look at the price. Right here, £2. Come on, camera. £2.40, right? Now, that's weekly. So times that by 4. That is a lot of money they're asking for you just from the weekly release. So they might have said, oh, I'll tell you what, we'll split it up. We'll split it up into weekly magazines and give you more. Yes, they plan to make more money. So to me, this just falls back on that Games Workshop thing. So this is way overcosted, straight away, for just a few little pages of this. So the trend continues. It's a good magazine for issue 1, but, you know, I'm not going to hold my breath. Do I think it's really worth that? No. And then we have this great big thick monster of a thing, and you're thinking, what the hell is Warhammer Visions? Well, you can see its size is much smaller than even this weekly one, and so it's more of a compact size. And when we look inside, we actually find that it's in 3 languages all the way through, and it is pretty much just a gallery all the way through. Not quite a catalogue, but you remember the bit that I was complaining about, the bit where I was saying White Dwarf were just trying to show you their new latest releases? So this is just a gallery of all their models, over and 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 again, and it is all just model showcasing, page after page after page of model showcasing. Very little content and just really picture heavy. So if you're going to buy this, you have to decide if that's the kind of magazine you want. That focuses specifically on that kind. Oh, we have actually bits of writing there. You know, content. Of course, the new Blanchitsi there. I'm not showing you too much so that I don't get in trouble. Big mag, okay, but because of the way it's designed and because of the way some of the pictures and you turn it up that way to look at it, and some of them are kind of like fold outs and things like that, it feels like this is hobby modelling, a hobby modelling porno. I mean, that's essentially what it is. It's layout, it's format, it's porno for for Warhammer models. That's what it is. So you just sit there with that kind of mindset. Now, that's monthly, and that is going to set you back considerably more money. Heck, it's not even on the magazine, it's on the price, is on this thing that was wrapped around the magazine. So let's get at that. £7.50, guys, in English. You can see all the prices there. £7.50. So it actually costs more than a porno night as well. Oh, wow. Okay, well, you know. So we've got there a few pages of weekly stuff overpriced and model porn. It's up to you as to whether you think White Dwarf have taken a step forward or a step worse. What do you think? Leave it in the crotch bar below.